Okay, so I thought it'd be a good idea to update the where we're at. Um, a couple weeks since my father's passed. It's actually Father's Day today. Towards the end of it, it's 6:18. Yes, it's been kind of a weird day, um, as expected. Um, being the first day without my father. Um, It's things a little different. I woke up and decided to go to church this morning, which I haven't done in a long time. And weather kind of messed things up. We were supposed to have, some family over, but a pretty big storm last night and throughout the morning. So we actually delayed it. Fortunately, we have tomorrow off, so I'm going to give it another try tomorrow. Um, so there's that. So the two campaigns we have going, and to be honest, on the the Give Send Go and the GoFundMe. I started those, after seeing the finances and everything, and all the damage and repairs and so forth from Ian, and um, things that have kind of gone neglected, since my father got sick in 2018. Compiling a list of stuff that some stuff's minor, but there are quite a few critical items on there. Missing. Ian blew off storm shutters. My parents live in a, well, my mom lives in a manufactured home in Bonita Springs here. Um, so I mean that's a big deal. Um, Stove doesn't work. Dishwasher leaks. Microwave is broken. They haven't had pest control in about 5 years, so major ant problems. Landscaping was like way overgrown. Um, so there's a whole host of other things. I've been going down there. Seems like every day, um, just to try to make headway on it. My father was, automotive tech, so and owned his own business, so he had quite a bit of tools and all kinds of gadgets and things in his shed slash work area that I went through and tried to organize a little bit. Um, the day I had to clean out his closet and his clothes and stuff. So that was kind of that was a tough thing to do. Um, there's a variety of other things I had to do during the week that I probably won't ever talk about, but I had to do them because it's part of that process. Um, my father's being cremated, so we're going through the whole urn selection, which we've done, and hopefully that'll be next week. And he's a veteran of Vietnam, U.S. Navy. Um, so my mom will get a U.S. flag and something from a presidential memorial, I think memorial certificate or something. I've seen it before. My great grandfather, oh wait, maybe it's my grandfather, was in the U.S. Army, and he received one from Gerald Ford. So I've seen it. Um, my two uncles were also in the Army, um, and they passed within the last couple years as well. But so there's some nice things being done there, and we're still considering an honor guard for him. So, um, so getting back to my update, um, so far, we've been able to um, clean up their place as far as the uh, all of the landscaping and stuff. We had a big clean out there. We finally had pesticide service done. Um, really drawing out the ants on that. So that's going to take a couple applications, I think. And then we're doing some research on a couple other things that need to be done. Um, like those shutters and the stove, the microwave. Microwave's kind of a lower priority. Dishwasher can probably be repaired. And I have a whole list. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff, but um, there's cabinets, not cabinets, trim that was just not on, and yeah, we did a clean out of partial clean out of their storage shed, um, cleaning out the room, shampooing some rugs um, that haven't been done in a long time, and um, hopefully we're saving them and not having to rip them up. So we'll be doing that in the next probably a couple days a week. And then when funds are released from the campaigns, we'll really be able to kind of address some of the big problems. Still hoping some more donations come in. Very grateful for those. One of the big things that it's not really, I wouldn't say tangible, but my father only had a $10,000 life insurance policy, so that's got to pay for the earned and final expenses, um and whatever the rest of it is, we have to yeah, they're going to have a drop in Social Security because his Social Security is obviously going to take over, and my mom's is going to go away, and he also had a VA benefit for some hearing loss from when he was in he worked in nuclear explosives in the Navy, so he had some hearing loss from that. So there's a considerable drop in income. So we're trying to figure out how to, at least break even on the cash flow at minimum. One of the big problems we have is their car. They owe about, I'd say, $6,500 on the car. So I don't think we're going to reach that through donations. So we're going to have to figure out how to, I guess, create creative. I don't know if we might need to sell the car or, and trade it in for or purchase something, less expensive, way less expensive that, we could pay off quickly. And anyway, we'll try to get creative on that stuff. So, but anyway, so that's kind of where we're at. I know it's kind of scattered. I don't write notes. I just kind of talk off the top of my head. So I'm probably forgetting a whole bunch of stuff. Perhaps in the future, if I do more updates, well, I plan to do more updates. I'll try to be more organized. Let's see. My father, well, let's see. I did learn something new about my dad. I did not know. So he owned a place here in Naples called Auto Care of Naples. He was the owner operator. He started a long time ago. He never advertised really. It was all mainly word of mouth, and he was pretty successful at it. My father was always someone who got up well before dawn and came home well after sunset. It's just a workaholic. That's the way he was. So he did that for quite a many years. But what I didn't know, so I'm in IT, so I don't really. I mean, we talk about business and stuff, and I'd give him some guidance here and there, but he mainly managed everything. And every so often he'd get, for lack of better words, he'd get screwed by some people, and it's frustrating. But he's just honest. If somebody was down on their luck or whatever, he would just say, hey, pay me back when you can. And if anybody ever runs a business, that's that can be trouble. But that's the way it was. He was honest, and he was trusting and things. But what I found out about my father is that he from the start of the business, and perhaps even before, but definitely from the start of the business, he was donating and giving auto repair brakes to veterans, especially of Vietnam, and St. Matthew's House of Naples, which St. Matthew's is, and yes, I had to look this up, primarily deals with alcoholism and drug addiction. So it totally makes sense now. He frequently gave breaks to those two organizations or areas, and I think that really says a lot about him. And actually, some of the people he had tried to hire or hired over the years were people who were, down on the luck, former, perhaps prisoners or convicts, whatever, people who had, just made some bad choices. He'd give them a second chance and stuff. So, had no idea, not a clue that he did these things. So I think it's fitting that we are considering that, especially with like his clothing, we just might do what we think he would have done and donate those things to those organizations. So it all come in time. We haven't made any decisions to yet, but that's definitely something that will probably happen. And as you know, it's hard to part with some things, especially this close to his passing. So, but anyway, I just wanted to give a quick update. I really wanted to thank those who donated, those who sent prayers, those who sent kind thoughts to us through the various social media mechanisms, cards in the mail. I mean, everywhere. We've gotten an outpouring of support from most people. And I guess at this point, really, the only thing I could ask is, if you can't donate, which is fine, if you could share the link for either the Give, Send, Go or the GoFundMe campaigns, that'd be great. Like I said, we're just trying to get my mom on track. My father was extremely worried about their finances and the kind of the mess that was there at the end. I mean, he was diagnosed with cancer in 2018, lung cancer, went to surgery and lost part of his lung, and he beat cancer. He was cancer free. Had some radiation on his esophagus. He had esophagus, forgive my medical terms. He had issues with that, swallowing, eating, drinking, from then on out. And then of course, COPD. He was a lifelong smoker. So COPD really kicked in, and he really started, his quality of life really declined slowly at first, but it became more rapid over the last, I'd say, year or two. It was a cycle, and the cycle of going in and out of the hospital, became more frequent as, up until, June of this month. So,